Okay, let's totally rethink the way we do testing. Seriously, picture this. Forget the silent classrooms, the pencil scratching, all that nervous energy. What if we could turn assessment into a game? A really fun, competitive, and super effective game. Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today.
I mean, just think about that for a second. What if you could take all the excitement and energy of a game and plug it directly into your review sessions? It turns out you totally can. And it's an amazing way to get students engaged when you're trying to see what they know.
So here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we'll talk about what this whole thing is. Then, we'll get into the nuts and bolts, setting it up, how you actually play, and of course, how you keep score. And then we'll get to the best part, why this whole thing works so well as a learning tool.
All right, so Section 1. What in the world is a formative assessment tournament? Well, at its heart, it's a really well-structured competition between small groups that goes way, way beyond your standard everyday quiz. See, the main goal here isn't just to check for knowledge, it's to actively build it. You've got students working together in these little teams, competing to really get a handle on the material. It makes the whole learning process active, social, and honestly, a lot of fun. Okay, let's get practical. How do you actually set this up? You know, one of the best things about this tournament is how simple it is. You don't need any special software or fancy gadgets, just a couple of basic things to get the ball rolling. First, you're going to want to break your students up into small groups. 3 is the magic number here. Each little group, or triad, gets one deck of question cards, placed face down. And this is key. One person in the group gets the answer sheet. And that's it. Seriously, you're ready to go. Now, within each group, students take on one of 3 jobs. You've got the question reader who, you guessed it, draws a card and reads the question. Then there's the answer giver. They're the one on the spot who has to give the first answer. And finally, the answer checker, who holds that all-important answer key. The most important part, these jobs rotate after every single question, so everybody gets a turn doing everything.
All right, now we're getting to the engine of the whole game. If you understand how one single round, one question cycle works, you'll understand the whole tournament. Let's walk through the 5 steps.
Okay, so first, the reader reads the question out loud. The answer giver then has to decide, do I answer this or do I pass? If they give an answer, the other 2 students have a choice. They can challenge it. Now here's the really brilliant part. The answer checker only reads the official answer if there's a challenge. If no one says anything, the answer giver is just assumed to be correct and they get to keep the card. But if there is a challenge, the answer sheet comes out and whoever was right gets the card. Then everyone rotates roles and you're on to the next question. Simple as that.
So, with all that going on, how do you actually win? Well, the scoring system is just as simple and clever as the game itself. It's really all about who can collect the most cards.
A round of the tournament is over as soon as the group makes it through the entire deck of cards. When that last card is won, everything stops and each player just counts up the cards they've collected. The person with the most cards gets first place, the next gets second, and so on. That ranking is what we're going to use to assign points.
And this table here shows you exactly how that works. In a group of 3, first place gets you 6 points, second place gets 4, and third place gets 2. There are even rules for what to do in case of a tie, so it's always fair. These points all add up over multiple rounds to give you a running tournament score.
Now this sheet, this is for the teacher. While the students are busy playing the game and trying to win cards, you can use a simple score sheet like this one to keep track of how each student is doing on each question. A quick plus for a right answer, a minus for a wrong one. It gives you this incredible, real-time data on which ideas are clicking and which ones might need a little more work.
So, we've gone through all the how-tos. Let's dig into the why. What is it about this game that makes it so much more powerful than just a regular old quiz? Well, it really comes down to some core ideas about how we learn best. This quote from the source material just hits the nail on the head. The game isn't just fun for fun's sake. The whole structure is specifically built to encourage 3 really important things for real, deep learning. Let's break those down.
First up, commitment. You can't just zone out. When it's your turn to be the answer giver, you have to be paying attention. You have to make a choice. Second, peer thinking. That challenge rule is pure genius because it means every student has to not only know the answer for themselves, but also listen carefully and judge if their classmates are right. And finally, you get perfectly timed feedback. The correct answer comes out at the exact moment of disagreement, right after a challenge. That's precisely when our brains are most ready to learn and remember something new.
So what this all boils down to is that the tournament takes assessment, which is usually a quiet, solo activity, and flips it completely on its head. It becomes this energetic, social, and really active experience where students are constantly teaching, checking, and learning from each other all in the moment.
By turning assessment into a game, you're doing so much more than just making review fun. You're actually weaving powerful learning principles right into the fabric of the activity. You're helping students achieve real mastery, and you're getting amazing insights into their understanding along the way. So the only question left is, are you ready to change how you assess learning?